Well, I was at the range today, and I was testing some .22 ammunition in this rifle. The rifle is a CZ. It's got no bolt in it right now. There's no ammunition, no rounds in it at all. Trigger lock on it, so it's very safe. It's a CZ 455 with a heavy barrel, a Manor stock, a Citron 10 to 50 scope, and a Lowy tuner. The ammunition that I was testing was Lapua Center X, a Lapua Midas Plus, Lapua Exact, some LE match, that's black box LE, some SK rifle match, some CCI green tag, and some sorted federal target. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes. So we're going to get the rifle out of the way, and then we're going to look at the results of the shooting. However, before we do that, I want to talk a little bit about the rounds that I was firing. The Center X, for example, I measured the rim thickness of them, and the rim thickness was varied by 1.4 thousandths. That's 14 10,000ths of an inch. And the bullet weight variation was 0.16 grains. The Lapua Midas Plus, the rim thickness varied by less than that, by 8 10,000ths of an inch. That's 0.8 thousandths of an inch. Weight variation about the same, was 0.18 grains. The Lapua Exact varied by thousandths of an inch. That was the rim thickness. The weight variation was almost nothing. It was very hard to find. I was guessing 0.06 grains. So much or so little, it was pretty hard to measure. Surprisingly, the Ely match, the rim thickness variation was 2.4 thousandths, or 24 10,000ths of an inch, and the weight variation was 0.34 grains. So on the Ely, I sorted it by rim thickness and sorted it by weight as well, and fired it that way. The SK rifle match, this one, the SK, the rim thickness is about the same as the other Lapua. It was 14 10,000ths, or 1.4 thousandths of an inch. Weight variation, however, was 0.72 grains. So there was a lot of weight separation, so I sorted this one on weight only, not rim thickness. The federal match was previously sorted. I sorted 500 of them, and these ones had, the rims were almost all the same, 5 10,000ths of an inch, but I'd already sorted the whole 500 to get that. And the weight variation was 0.12 grains. The green tag, again, I sorted the green tag, only 100 of them, but I had almost the same result as the Fed targets, or 8 10,000ths of an inch rim variation, because I'd sorted them. The weight variation was a half a grain, or 0.52 grains. So that was surprising as well. The variation was so much. That's enough on the ammunition. We're going to go to the target for now. I will post this. I don't know if we'll be able to see it on the video, but I will post this in the video when I prepare it for YouTube. And that'll be it for this segment. We'll come back in a minute, and they will be set up on the target. Turn it off. All right, here we go with the results of the ammo test that I did today. Before I start on the ammo, one thing about the rifle that I showed you a little earlier, I forgot to tell you there was a Yo Dave trigger kit in it. And Dave of Yo Dave is one of the guys that I shoot with, and because he shoots perfect scores all the freaking time, that's what's driving me to find what shoots best in my rifle. So the first target I shot was this scatterburst, and that was just to make sure that I was sighted in, and I was shooting the federal targets. As you can see, I was a little high, a little right, but that wouldn't make a whole lot of difference. I was able to allow for that. And also, interestingly, for all of the ammunition, I was almost sighted in at 50 yards, the same on all of the ammunition. Of course, they're all subsonic, around 10,080 feet per second. and they're all 40 grain. So it's like, I guess that's why the sighting was the same for all of them. So I started off shooting the federal targets, and as you can see, it's pretty scattered. Still, I'm at 50 yards, and I guess they're probably 1-inch groups, but that's not good enough to compete with the people who shoot for real. I then went to the SK, and the SK didn't do too bad. There's some of these groups, especially this one, that are smaller than an inch, half an inch, but not all 10 ring for sure. While I was shooting though, I really wanted to shoot groups, but I also wanted the accuracy as well. So I was trying to shoot the group and stay on the bullseye as well. So I shot a couple of good ones. This would have been a good one except for this shot here. But I get a little tired of people that go on YouTube and they shoot 5 or 10 rounds and say they had a 1/4 inch group except for the 3 that missed. So this one missed. The CCI green tag was next. I was shooting this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, and as you can see, the groups are not bad, but certainly not good with the misses. And but these were the least expensive, less expensive ammunitions or rounds that I fired. And actually, with talking about the cost of rounds, it's amazing. You get what you pay for. I then went and I shot the exacts, and I shot them on the wrong target, as you can see. I had it marked Lapua, but it was exact. I got some pretty good groups, and I marked this one right away. That's marked bumped. I was shooting from a bench, and there's a fellow next to me shooting shotguns, and one of them bumped into the bench just as I was firing. So I'm surprised it's not farther off. Too bad it wasn't completely off the target. I would have been able to shoot another round. But that's not too bad. They're all I think I've hit what would be the 10 ring on all of them, and I got some X's there. So exact is did fairly well. Then I went down. I went to the Midas. I shot the Midas. Not quite as good as exact, but not too bad. And then I went to the Center X, which is less expensive than the Midas. And to me, I guess in my rifle, the Center X did better. And you can see here, I went down to the target when this happened. There was a wind gust came up. There was a pretty windy day today. And the left and right had to do with wind shift. It was not, the winds weren't strong, but they were twitchy. They were back and forth. So so that'll explain some of the horizontal. But the vertical stuff, this one, I shot. And I said, "Oh Christ, how did I miss that?" And then I looked up and I saw the wind flags blowing right at me, and it was just a gust coming at me. And sure enough, that was it caused, well, maybe a 1/2 or 1/4 of an inch of drop that shouldn't have been there, and I should have paid better attention. So that's the Center X. If you take a look at this, and as I say, we'll post my analysis before, at least on YouTube when I do it. The federal target ammunition in Canada, in Canadian dollars or cents, costs 18 cents a round. The SK rifle match, about the same thing. So for my rifle, much rather buy this than this for the less expensive ammunition. And I say less expensive, I mean you can get rounds for 6 cents a piece, but you may as well shoot a shotgun. The green tag did pretty well, maybe the same as the SK, but the green tag cost me 27 cents a round. The Center X is probably next. It's 18 cents a round for this, and the Center X did pretty well. I think that's not a bad choice for my rifle, considering that the exact would cost me 57 cents a round. Excuse me, 54 cents a round is what that would cost me to do this. I'll probably get some of this, and when I get a chance to shoot in competitions, which I don't do an awful lot of. I may spend the money for the Exact. The the Midas Plus is 40 cents a round, and the difference between 57 and 40, I can spend all the money, I may as well buy the Exact. And Eley, well, if you look at the Eley, I probably didn't give it a fair trial. It was cold out today, and as I say, it was windy, and this was the last one I fired. The Eley is scattered a little bit, but I think that some of it was just because I was rushing it. I was cold and I was shivering, and I expect the Eley match would do better than that. So to sum up, for my rifle, for me, I think that I'm going to get more SK rifle. That is, I'm going to use this when I'm practicing with my rifle. The reason I have the rifle is practice for the center fire rifles that I fire. I want to be able to much rather shoot 18-cent rounds than $2 rounds in the center fire ones. And when I get a chance to compete, if I can get Exact, that's what I'll shoot. To shoot 100 rounds, of course, that's $57. The Center X would be another choice to compete with. I may not get perfect scores like some of my buddies do, but of course at 27 cents a round, it's half the price. So we'll see what I do. Anyway, that's the result of testing those 7 types of ammunition, and I'll see what I can do about posting this online. I did take some video at the range, but as I said, it was cold and miserable out there. I was shaking. The video isn't any good. I probably won't be able to post any of that. And that's it for now. I hope this is worth watching. Thank you.